Today on Fresh Vintage Garage, we're checking out the Maddox MR14 OBD2 Code Reader. Stay tuned as we're going to plug into our car and show you all the capabilities on this guy right now. Just like we said in the intro, we're checking out the MR14 here, the Maddox, but we have more than that on the table here. Huge shout out to Harbor Freight for sending all these over, sponsoring the video. Really, really appreciate it. This gives us the unique ability to have all of these in one place at one time so that we can check out and do a cross comparison, talk about pros, talk about cons, and if you want to see that comparison video, you can find it in the description of the video you're watching now right down here. Also, we're going to have a video on the MR16, obviously the MR14, the 10, the MRBT, the Bluetooth one, and the MR5. And if you turn this over, you can see all the capabilities here. So we're going to go down this list. Join us outside. We're going to plug into our car and show you all these capabilities, as many as we can find in our Subaru. Let's jump outside together and we'll dig in right now. So we're in our 2016 Subaru Forester here, and we have the MR14. We actually have it plugged or screwed in here, the actual plug. Really, really tight fitting. And let me just shout out this cable. Like, this is a real cable. That thing, you can almost jump rope. And I know I'm joking, but that's a real cable. You could actually almost do this in the back seat. But let me plug this thing in, and then we want to get it set up on the dash so it doesn't fall. But so I plugged it in, and just real quick, you can watch the initial boot up. It's scanning, already scanning the car. So actually, let me turn the ignition on. There we go. And we'll set this on the dash. There we go. There we go. And so taking a look at that, you can see it's automatically hooked up to the car, you know, connected, and it's doing the actual scan. Now, we'll just shout out, and hopefully you can see that okay. We're just going to shout out the MR14 and the 16. We're going to try to go in, this is highlighted in yellow, because we're going to try to find as many of these as possible. This is the actual MR14 box. But there's a ton of stuff in here. We're in a Subaru, so we're not going to be able to do anything with the FCA, but we're at least going to go find that in the software to see if we can show you where it's at and how to access it, and then try and find as many of the 12 service reset functions as possible. But let me throw this in the back seat, and then we'll dig into the software here. Now, what this is trying to do on the screen is it's trying to connect to this app, and stick around, we'll show you that later in the video because this is on my cell phone. But so we have do not show this again, and the buttons on this thing are very clicky. I'm going to click skip. So it says no powertrain data trouble codes stored. So let me click OK. And let's go to read data trouble codes. Let's see what comes up here. So it's actually going to search again. And it just beeped at me. It's wanting to do that. So I'm going to click skip. Okay, so it says none found. And let me go back to the main screen. This is a screen I wanted to show you. And just, I'm going to sidetrack. I'm going to go into settings, because some people absolutely, like myself, they're like, I can't stand that beeping, so I'm immediately going to turn the beeping off. Sorry, folks. So read data trouble codes. We can erase them if we want. Let's go in and let's find some live data graphing capability here. Let's see what we can do with this. Now, it's interesting because we have been working on making videos for the MR5, the MR10, the MRBT, and now we're making this video, the MR14, and we're going to make the MR16 video. I say all that because the MRBT, the MR10, and the MR5, they only saw, I believe, 20 different data points, live data points. But if you look over here to 1 of 47, you can see 47 different data points with the MR14. And I won't go through a ton of this stuff here, but I'm going to go through some of these and just show you everything that's in here. So really, really cool to see the capability that you're getting from the MR14. You're kind of stepping into, dare I call it, like a mid-range capable code reader here. Now, as far as it says live data menu, this is not a touchscreen. You have to use the buttons, but let me go back up to the top. And so on the bottom right-hand corner, I just wanted to shout out, you can see it says graph. So if you want a graph, you just have to, it actually gives you a description of the data there. But if you want a graph, I'm actually kind of wondering how you do that. Oh, there we go. So I hit the right button, and now it gives me the ability to graph. Let me just turn the car on here. And there's our throttle position. Give it a second to build up some oil pressure before I start hitting the gas. There we go. And now if we want to merge graph, let's take a look and see if we can merge this with something else. So if we want to merge the graph with calculated load value, let's try that. I'm guessing it's only going to give us 2 data points. But so there's 2 data points. Let's see if we can get it to give us more. So let's go to graph. And let's do a multi-graph. Let's do trim. Let's see if we can do more than, I'm guessing what's going to happen is it's just going to give us a list of these. Oh, look at that. Very, very cool to see that the MR14, I mean, this is I would, dare I say the words, this is almost scan tool territory right here, folks. This is very, very cool to see. I personally did not expect this thing to be able to do this. Let's go to multigraph, and let's see if it'll actually, let's go for broke here kind of thing. Let's see if it'll give us combined data points. Okay, so it's trying, it's okay, let me see if I can do merge graph. Will this merge? Okay, there we go. So we have 4 different data points in one graph. That's actually really, really impressive. I really didn't expect it to do this, but you can see, this is really cool because you can chase some kind of weird electrical gremlin. Maybe you have a sensor starting to go bad, or maybe the car like hiccups and it runs rough for 5 seconds and then it goes back to normal. It's like, what's wrong with this thing? You can see what's going on with the sensors in the car and potentially pinpoint, at least start the conversation about like, is it this or is it that? And maybe talk to your mechanic to figure out what the root cause is. Very, very cool to see that. And OBD monitor test. Let's see what's in here. Okay, so we have quite a bit of different stuff here. Let's just go to Catalyst Monitor Bank, and it says it's okay. So basically, this is, dare I say, it's doing emissions-ish testing, but a lot of this is obviously emissions related. So we do not necessarily have that in our state, but for you folks in California, as an example, you definitely would find that very useful. And let's go back to request control onboard system. I'm actually not sure what this will do. Oh, evap test. Okay, so we're not going to do an evap test, but vehicle information, and we'll do vehicle ID. Should bring up, 2016 Subaru. There's our VIN, and then available modules. Let's take a look. So it doesn't really give, I thought it would give more data than that, like maybe the actual individual modules in the car, but very, very cool to see that it does support the CAN protocol just to help expand the capabilities of actual diagnostics in the vehicle. That's the bottom of the list, so let me go into OEM diagnostics, and it says, is this your vehicle? And I said, no, I stole it. My dumb joke there, sorry everyone. But yeah, this is our vehicle, 2016 Subaru Forester. And let's go ahead and click the OK for scan all systems. And while this is going, let's talk about software updates. We've read on Harbor Freight's site, we've looked on the box, I've read through the owner's manual to a certain extent. I can't sit here and tell you, as a reviewer of scan tools and all the scan tools that we touched on Fresh Finish Garage, I don't see where you have to pay for software updates for this. Now, I'm going to tell you I haven't confirmed with Harbor Freight that this is quote-unquote lifetime software updates, because that's a big sticking point. A lot of people get hung up on these things because they don't want to have to spend $100 a year or $200, whatever it is, for a higher-end scan tool, as an example, to keep the software updated. This MR14, and I'm assuming the MR16, do not need the actual software updates. I can't call them, and Harbor Freight has not confirmed that they are quote-unquote lifetime software updates for free, but we don't see where you have to actually update anything, with the exception of the FCA AutoAuth. We're going to go find that in the software and show you what comes up there. Let's take a look. We got a lot of stuff going on here, and let me make sure I don't drop it on the ground. Combination meter, let's see what's in here. Read data trouble codes. And so the control module bus is off. Now I will shout out, this thing's pretty zippy. We have touched a lot of code readers and scan tools, and part of it is how old your car is, but part of it is also the RAM and the memory and the capability, like the processing power inside the code reader or scan tool. And the MR14 seems to be fairly snappy here. I'm kind of impressed how fast this is responding. No data trouble codes. Let's go back here. Engine occupant detection system. What the heck is that? Huh, interesting. And if we wanted to erase all data trouble codes, you could do that at the bottom of vehicle inspection. I'm not sure. Oh, diagnostic report. What's in here? Pre-scan, post-scan. Okay, so customer report. And let's go into the engine live data. We were in live data before, but I just wanted to mention, okay, so I want you to think about the number you saw. I'm going to point right up here. That says 1 of 77 now, and earlier, if memory serves correct, it said 1 of 47, so we just found more data coming out of the vehicle. And it kind of makes me wonder, can we just, let's go graph, let's do merge graphs, and I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but let's just choose a bunch and we'll see what happens. Okay, so it only gives the ability to do 4. Okay, so there's our graph there. Let's do multi-graph and we'll see what happens. Okay, done. Okay, so this is the stuff we saw before. I just wanted to see if it would do anything different, or maybe in the OEM diagnostic section would unlock some additional capability or something, but let's go back out of here. So transmission, let's see what's in the transmission. Oh, we were already in here. Yeah, let me just show you here. Yeah, we're already in here. What else is down here? Multi-function display, electric power steering, tire pressure monitoring system. Let's see what this does. TPMS you really, just to be frank, you really need a custom built tool. There are companies that build these things. If you want to see a video or two on them, we can leave the description, I'm sorry, the video for that in this video's description. But TPMS, you see, it didn't really do a whole lot. It just basically gave us a code. But this that I know of, you could possibly turn your data trouble code off for your TPMS light. But if you do that, you're not fixing the problem. You're just turning the light off. So it's probably going to come back on. So keyless access, what's in here? Push start. So there's really, okay, so I thought there was more like diagnostics in there, but that's just giving you the ability to look at the system. So it's really cool to see though, eyesight, power rear gate, the list goes on. Let's find where are our reset functions? I'm wondering if they're in workshop tools. Here they are. Okay, so these are all the reset functions. There's 12 of them if memory serves correct. And taking a look at this, we have a little bit of everything in here, and you can do an alternator test. Let's just go in here and do a real quick alternator test. Actually, let's look at alternator live data. Let's see. So alternator duty 68%. Just hit the gas. I thought that would be going up, but I guess not. So if we want to do an alternator test real quick, turn the headlights on, and then we'll hit continue. And get this up to 2,000 RPM. Turn the headlights off. There we go. There we go. And we knew that the alternator was good, but it's cool to see that this the MR14 will do this. So electronic parking brake reset, that's a big thing. That may be worth the price of the MR14 by itself, simply because if you have a newer car and you have an electronic parking brake, you need this tool, sort of taking it to the dealer, you need a tool like this to actually unlock that rear parking brake so that you can change the rear brake pads. Let's take a look. Steering angle sensor. Whoops, I just clicked on the wrong thing. Let me get back in here. So there is, now I'm kind of curious. Let's see what's in here. This is a relearn procedure OBD. So a properly formatted scan. This is what I was talking about. If you're interested in a TPMS tool, a standalone tool, we'll leave a link for a few videos that we have in this video's description of the video you're watching now. You just scroll down, you'll find them. But they're telling you need a formatted scan tool, And now that I think about it, Harbor Freight does have their own TPMS tool. Very, very cool unit. If you haven't seen that video, we'll leave that link in this video's description. Let's go to throttle body relearn. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, so if we wanted to do that, we can. Really nice to see they actually have ABS, brake system bleeding. And DPF, that's another big one. Diesel particulate filter. For some of you diesel guys, that may be worth the price of the MR14 by itself. Transmission reset, the list goes on. I'm just going to keep clicking. Okay, so that's the bottom of the list. And let's look at previous vehicle. So that gives you the actual OBD diagnostics. Okay, so let me get this set up because I think we're pretty much ready to, do I exit? Yes, there we go. Let's get the connection set up to my phone. We'll be right back. I'm just going to get this set up so you can see the data pull from the MR14 to my phone. Quickly wanted to show you the tool library. So there's a data trouble code library, and then LED definition if you do see those lights come on during your actual scans. And there's also a data dynamic link connector. Okay, so basically the OBD2 port, it shows you where it's at in the vehicle. And for you FCA guys, I know you've been waiting for that to come through. There's a secure gateway access disclaimer setting here, but you can't just take the MR14. Let me just go down here. You can't just take this and plug it in. You have to, and let me show you on the box, really small print down here, requires auto-auth registration and subscription at harborfreight.com/secure gateway. So if you buy the MR14 or the 16, know that you can't just plug this in and start scanning newer Chryslers and Dodges and Jeeps and whatnot. You need to actually register, and then this will unlock the functionality. So taking a look at the app on my phone, this will run on any Android or iOS tablet or phone. And I'm going to click Connect Tool, and it should connect to the MR14. So now it kind of flashed on the screen, but it actually is connected. And you go into Vehicle Care, and here's all of our information. So let's go to Maintenance Items. It's interesting that it says 11 items due at 90,000 miles. It's giving you a cost estimate. We have no idea where that's coming from, but it's kind of cool to see. And let's go back to, let's find the actual codes in here. How to scan, automated, scan modules using the tool, reports update as you scan. So let's go on the MR14 here, and we'll read our data trouble codes. There we go. So it's actually scanning. Okay, so now it's retrieving. We had to trigger it on the MR14, but now it's retrieving the data. And it's telling us to download that app if we haven't already done so. Obviously, it doesn't realize that it's connected to the phone, but we'll give this a minute. We'll speed this part up and actually come back to you when this is completed. Okay, and here we are. So this is our report 107, and you can see it's emissions ready. And there's our no action required. Now let's go down to here. There's our report history. So that's everything from the car. And I guess there's not much to look at in here simply because we didn't have any codes. And this is just giving you kind of a basic breakdown of what it extracts out of the MR14. It's not letting you really go in depth. And for comparison, if you want to see what this app actually can do, definitely check out our other video on the MRBT. So it's quite fascinating to see how much this app will do when it's connected to the MRBT. But this is a pretty basic breakdown of the actual scan and the data that's coming out of the MR14. So wrapping up the video here, we just wanted to do a quasi unboxing. And when I say that, when you pull this out of the box, you're going to get this case with the MR14. Nice perk versus it just coming in like an egg carton, cardboard thing like a lot of the lower end scan tools do. Looking at this, the manual, there is a pretty substantial manual in there. If you're interested in knowing all of the capabilities, they're all right there. I mean, it's almost a, like an old school paper manual. So it's pretty cool to see that, and there's a lot of stuff in there. I poked around and looked. There is a USB-C cable if you want to plug this in to the actual computer. And something we didn't show you in the video yet, we would need to get a screwdriver to fully show you, but on the back of this, there is a kickstand. And in here, this does not have a battery in it per se, like a smartphone battery. It doesn't have a lithium-ion battery in it, but there are 3 AA batteries in here that Harbor Freight provides you in the box with the MR14. I say that because this thing draws such low power that you really don't need a built-in battery. It may sound like a negative that doesn't have a battery in it, but let's be honest, you're going to be plugged into the car 99% of the time this thing's on. So do you really need a built-in battery? And that's one of the ways they actually help keep the cost down on the Maddox series. We found it to work really well, and just to unplug this and show you, it's pretty fast. Turn off and then turn back on. It really is that quick. You just plug it in and go. Those grayed out because we disconnected from the car, but when you plug it in, they come back to life kind of thing. We'll leave a link for this in this video's description if you want to check it out on harborfreight.com, or just stop by your local Harbor Freight store. They should have these in stock, everything from the MR5 right on up through the MR16 and the MR14 as well. But really nice. And I just now, look at that, I just now noticed that there is a light in there. So if you're under the dash fishing around for that actual OBD2 connector, really big shout out to Harbor Freight for that. I just now noticed that. And you would be amazed at how many other companies don't do that. It seems like such a simple concept that it gets completely missed by other scan tool companies. So like I said, we'll leave the link for this in this video's description. You want to check it out on Harbor Freight's site. This is a pretty crowded market, so we'll throw a few other actual units like this code readers and lower end scan tools alike kind of thing in this video's description if you want to look around, see what else is out there, because you work hard for your money. We want to make sure you buy the best actual code reader and scan tool that's for your budget and your needs at your house and your garage. With that, we appreciate you watching. If you like scan tools and code readers, if you like shop equipment, if you like keeping your car certified fresh and on the road, Fresh Vintage Garage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.